Hey there, today we're looking at ISO 27000 and how you can use some of those concepts in your small business to keep you safe. Hey there, everybody. This is Tom with Tom's Tech Show, and company I work for, we just got our ISO 27001 certification. I've worked at other companies in the past where we got ISO 9001. 9000 is more a manufacturing process, and it was kind of odd because everything didn't actually have to make sense. It just had to be written down. And the concept, of course, is if you're taking the time to write everything down, then you're probably going to review it and make it better. And then every year, as you redo your certification, you're supposed to iterate and make your business process more efficient. Well, the new latest thing here is ISO 27001, which is more of a information technology business kind of continuity type of certification that all these new tech companies and everything have to have if they want to work with each other. It's really a maybe a Fortune 1000, maybe 5,000 or something, because it costs a lot of money. Right? If you want to just do the basics, I think it's around just to do the certification, it's probably around $10,000 to $30,000, and then over a 3-year period, I was reading it can cost up to $75,000, and that's not including all of the tools that you need, because you need mobile device management, you need to be able to update systems, you need to be able to do all of these different things and have all these different tools in place that you have to pay for, and keeping laptops updated, and keeping once the laptop goes out of warranty, you need to either buy a new warranty or replace that. So there's a lot of money that goes into this. But it's very important for big businesses. We just saw that big breach of the 2.9 billion bits of everybody's information. I don't know if that company that was doing that was ISO certified. I mean, I would think they were at least HIPAA certified, HIPAA compliant. But all of these certification things all are here to help secure that and make sure that that doesn't happen. You have to, information about it, you have to disclose information when breaches happen and things like that. But I mean, a small business, and just I guess as a disclaimer, right? I'm not an ISO certified help person to, be a consultant or anything else. I'm not someone who works for an ISO company that does the actual certification. None of those. I've just been through the end user setup of the whole thing and run through the whole process there. So, and that's my end of it. But we're going to be looking at through this series, probably maybe 3 or 4 videos, is how the concepts of ISO and ISO compliance, things like that, how can that help a small business? Because as a small business, you really want to, you want to keep yourself safe, and it's not affordable for you to do a 3-year $75,000 program. But if you can take some of those concepts and move them into your business and do some of the documentation that is needed and stuff like that, then that would be huge for your business, give you a little bit of peace of mind, and help secure your business. Okay, so what are the different areas that ISO has? Just as kind of an overview, this may not be all of it. Like I said, I'm just going from an end user perspective and what I kind of think that small businesses would need to look at, that are things that are gleaned from the ISO information. Okay, so one is you have policies, right? So everybody's got, you've got an acceptable use policy. What's that? What does it look like? So what, how you use the computer, what you can use the computer for. Can you use for personal things? Small businesses, like a doctor's office or something like that, that's very fuzzy. I mean, those lines get very, fuzzy. Somebody there checking their, I'm going to log in and check my email or whatever. kind of thing on the company, computer. Do you want to allow that? Do you not want to allow that? But at least if you are going to allow that, you're going to tell your employees, yes, you can check your personal email in a web browser and not download any files or attachments or anything like that. Then at least it'd be documented, and if something happens, you can know, maybe where it was, and then later you go, well, now because of this, we're not going to allow that anymore. Those kinds of things that are in all these policies, and there's many, many, many different policies. Okay, so then there's procedures. So that is, how to do something. You have things that people do, and in small companies, they get, pigeonholed. Like, Angie used to do, the weird accounting thing every month, and she would do this little thing for accounting and send off this file and do whatever for the accountant and everything else. And she did that all the time. But now she's on vacation, and we don't know what to do because she had that in her brain and not written down. So that's kind of procedures kind of things. So then the next thing would be, evidence. If you want to do eventually, if you think you're going to get big enough, right, and you want to be able to do like ISO27001 type of compliance, then you would need evidence, which is, so you have the policy, and then, the policy is, this information gets sent. The procedure is how that gets sent. Then you have the evidence that shows that you actually sent it. So that's those three kind of go hand in hand. Then risk. I mean, you have everything that you do has risk. So, based on those policies and procedures, you look at what different things, like you bring in a piece of software, and what's the risk of that software? Who wrote the software? What's their, support level? Is it just somebody, is it somebody in their garage, or is it an actual reputable company? What's going on with that? Right. So that you need to understand that risk. If it's something that you really, really rely on all of the time, and it's some guy in his, garage somewhere just hammering out code, by himself, that's not a good risk. If he, dies in a car crash or something like that, then you're out you're done with support. You got to go look for something else, and your business gets interrupted, basically. So the next thing is business continuity. This is actually on the next slide as well, as we go to the different sections, but business continuity. How do you keep your business running? So if you are a doctor's office, let's say, and you've got a very small doctor's office, you're a single doctor in an office, you've got two, examination rooms and, a little waiting room and stuff that's there, and a fire takes the building down. Well, where's the backup? Is it offsite? What do you do when you need, you have patients that had appointments, that need to come and see you, and some may be critical. Do you have an area where there's another office? You have another doctor that's a friend of yours that, you can say, okay, what we'll do is we'll make an agreement here that if my office burns down, I'll come and you'll let me use your office. If your office burns down, you can come and bring your patients to my office, and we'll share that until insurance gets done and everything else. But you can, and it'll be busy, but you'll still get, your patients seen, kind of thing. So that business continuity is also very important. Okay. So what kinds of things are looked at in this kind of ISO compliance, and how we're going to go over how those in future videos, we're going to go how those adhere, what we can do just to help out with, the small business side of things. So organizational controls, how your organization is formed, how everything acts and reacts to each other. People controls, do you do, there's like background checks, what kind of, you have all the information on their history, do any criminal checks, anything like that. Physical controls, door locks, alarm systems, security cameras, things like that. Technological controls, your computers, where are they backed up, what's the security behind them, and all that. And then again, another line for business continuity. All of this stuff flows down into business continuity, maintaining your business and keeping it up and running. Okay. Right. So it's a lot of information that comes out. You can see how this starts unwinding and being huge. And I don't want to overwhelm anybody, but it did take us a year to get this done, but we came out really well, and a lot of good effort by a lot of great people, at the company got it done. But I'm just going to take each kind of maybe a couple of sections and go over them, and we'll talk about what's maybe something that we can do in a small business just to start getting things put in. I mean, if you do a little bit, just doing, kind of the basic stuff, getting that done, that will just help your business and be able to be, so when that one person goes on vacation, oh, that's this procedure here that she wrote that for us to do that. Boom. Okay, there we go. We got that done. Great. That's, what are the, how often do we change the alarm code? Have we ever changed the alarm code? We had the alarm code and, 3 people were let go. 3 people quit, right? But the alarm code's never been changed, even though 3 people quit. So they have the alarm code still. Do you know that they didn't make a copy of the key and have the alarm code and can come into the building? Different things like this that just, start doing those kinds of simple procedures and getting them down is going to solve a lot of headaches possibly, in the future. And that's what we're going to do in this series. All right. So if you have any comments or questions about ISO and compliance, and once again, I'm not a super expert or anything. I've been through a couple different runs of compliance stuff, and I'm not a certified anything. We're just taking all this, what we've learned from this, and seeing what we can do to help benefit small businesses. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Take care.